Regarding the envoys from Galyria, an excerpt from the notes of Etcetera Et Cetera. The War Admiral is an astoundingly imposing man. I am, in all honesty, too afraid to attempt to speak to him in person, and thus am reduced to relating the gossip and second-hand information about him that I have been able to gather through my conversations with other partygoers. According to legend, Dauntless Leroux is immune to all poisons, natural and artificial. He maintains a rigorous resistance-boosting regimen that involves ingesting and injecting various doses of poison so that his body learns to reject them automatically. I suppose those are the sort of threats you need to be prepared for as the head of Galyria's legendary naval forces. Alternately, another party guest theorizes that he simply flexes the poison out, which is not to be discounted outright. War Admiral Leroux is also accompanied to the gala by a pair of officer attendants. Strangely, their rank insignias are either absent or nonsensical. From what I've been able to gather, the pair are known as Lanterns Light and Kingly Unbecoming, and those familiar with Galyrian organized crime tell me that the cloud tattoo on the back of Unbecoming's hand refers to a criminal syndicate within the Land of Bounty. Kingly Unbecoming's face and neck are likewise covered in tattoos, which I can only imagine, briefly, cover the rest of his body. The artistry on the work varies wildly from piece to piece, which implies that his body of work has been an incremental and almost haphazard process. Some of the markings are beautiful, masterfully done, while others seem to be the sort of ink one might pick up in prison or amongst bandits. However, despite his appearance and even his name, I cannot deny something regal in his bearing, as much as Mr. Unbecoming might try to hide it. Lantern's Light is also an enigma. He bears no rank and no additional signs of allegiance, but we keep making eye contact as I survey the other guests, and he keeps smirking. I don't understand it even a bit. He's clever, too. I don't think I saw him eat anything that he didn't steal from somebody else's plate. What a strange fellow. Well, as strange and interesting as all this is, I must confess I have something much stranger waiting for me as soon as this supper is over. I think it might be what my lord sent me here to find. Oh, I just can't wait. Etcetera Et Cetera, the librarian of the Obsidian Athenaeum. Mm-hmm. She draws her finger across the top of the cover of the book, like as if she was reading word by word, and she says, "This book is called Holy
Holy Cannoli.
Holy Cannoli. This book is called The Fall of Holy Penumbra, the Moonshore, the City in the Shade, the Testament to God's Love, or How the Titans Chained Cella."
Could you repeat that for me? I don't think I heard it right.
Okay. She kind of nods very, very, seriously, and she says, "The Fall of Holy Penumbra, the Moonshore, the City in the Shade, the Testament to God's Love, or How the Titans Chained Cella."
What?
The Fall of Holy Penumbra.
No. What? No, did you read it? What does that mean? Did they, metaphorically, a chain is like a hug and you hug a friend who's really close?
I don't know. I just started reading the book. This is all I've been able to, it's taken me 2 hours. This is all I've been able to translate.
Oh, Okay. Can you read it out loud in the language, even if you don't know what it says?
I can try.
Because Radiant here can understand any language spoken to him.
Oh wow, that's really impressive. You must be like a linguist or something.
He's a paladin.
I'm a paladin.
It's different.
Oh, that's also impressive. Let me try. And she kind of like cracks open the book, and it's a weird book. Like you look at it, and like the letters kind of hurt your eyes a little bit. And she clears her mouth, she clears her throat, and inhales, and then the door to this reading nook opens. And Lantern's Light walks in. Lantern's Light, to remind y'all.
Yes, please.
He's a Black Cat Koshaki. He is part of Dauntless Leroux's retinue. And he right now is not wearing his formal, his dress uniform. He's wearing like pajamas, with like a big, like robe, like a big like silk robe over them that he's got his hands in. And he says, "Oh, sorry, am I interrupting the reading hour?"
Yes.
Wait, it's Bible study.
Oh, fantastic. And he goes and he sits in a corner.
Who gave me the note about Fletcher? I can't remember.
Do you remember that at least him like patted you on the back and then you found it in your pocket?
Okay. Can I discern realities to see if he's spying on us?
Yes, absolutely. Please discern realities.
Yes. Character sheet.
Radiant has taken the book from Etcetera Et Cetera and is like trying to read it himself.
Oh, nice. She goes, "No."
I rolled a 12.
And that's 12. A 12 is a very good roll. That's
yes.
the best.
Yeah.
Give us, you got some questions.
I do. Give me a second while I pull the question list up, because I can never remember them off the top of my head. You think I would? I have played Dungeon World a million times.
That'd be what happened here recently, what is about to happen, what should I be on the lookout for, what here is useful or valuable to me, who's really in control here, and what here is not what it appears to be.
Okay. Okay. What should I be on the lookout for?
You hear like scurrying feet running away from the door.
Oh.
Like there might have been somebody else listening that Lantern's Light scared off.
Then, oh, okay. I turned to Lantern's Light and said, was there somebody outside the door?
Yeah, some, servant, maid, scullery man or something. Y'all should be careful. The walls have ears here.
The ears have walls.
Ears have walls too. Hey, what's that thing you got there? It's a Bible?
It is.
It's none of your business. It's a book.
A book.
What here is not what it appears to be?
The book is definitely not a book. It's something else.
Okay, that's good to know.
If only you had somebody who was well versed in looking at things that are confusing and complicated and figuring out what they did.
No.
Yeah. I don't know that this is like a mechanical thing that you can puzzle out. What else is not here? Lantern's Light is not a soldier. He does not actually work for Galyria.
Yeah, that seems fairly obvious at this point. What gives him away? Is it the robe?
It might be the robe. Just his whole demeanor, plus the fact that his like jacket today has no rank on it.
Ugh. Should I do what is about to happen or who is in control here? Does anybody have any opinions because I do not know.
You don't think I'm in control here of the situation?
Yeah, it's with the answer is just radiant. It's wild.
The answer is always radiant.
Let's go. What is about to happen? I'm on the edge from this cat.
You actually see that he's like kind of looking at Etcetera. Like he's interested in what you're going here for, but he came here for her.
Mm-hmm. All right, then. So it turns around to say, maybe this would be better in our room. I don't think it would be terrible for the others to hear it, but in public like this,
I don't know.
And then she like widens her eyes at him. It's like, it would be better in our room, right? To read this in.
What is she trying to do?
Get him to leave. to take her and the book, to take the librarian girl and like be like, X-nay on the cat. Nay. Get At-Cay.
Okay, so we're not actually, okay. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
1 second. I'm just gonna tell him not to follow us.
You tell him what?
I'm just gonna tell him not to follow us. Very quietly, I say this. So he can't hear.
Oh, so you say to Radiant very quietly,
yeah.
So that Landred's like can't hear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, you're telling me?
Yeah, take him.
Okay.
Take her and go away from this cat man that I have to yell at.
Oh, okay. I will I take Etcetera with me. Here we go.
All right. So you start to walk out with Etcetera. Lantern's light kind of grabs her like the
I will fight this cat for this bugbear.
Like the wrist of her coat, of her robes. Like he doesn't grab her by the wrist, but he kind of like tugs on her robes before she leaves. And he says, "Hey," and she says, "Yes." And he reaches into his robe, his silk robe, and he pulls out a sheaf of papers. And he says, "Dauntless and Kingly already got their invitation. It cost me a pretty penny to convince Kingly to write down what he sees, but you owe me for this." And he hands her the sheaf of papers, and she takes it, and she says, Yes. You can, I'll send it to you. I don't have any money. I'll send it to you." And he nods. And then she kind of like stuffs that paper into the big leather-bound book that she's been carrying. Not your book, but the one that she's been writing in this whole time. Mm-hmm. And she kind of nods, and he grins, and then she follows Radiant out.
What was that? What was that about?
Well, so, you know how, you might not know. Do you know about the Obsidian Athenium? We are trying to catalog all knowledge in the whole world?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
You know, we can't be there for all of it, so sometimes we get people to give us some of it.
Why is he, like, really weird about it?
Yeah, you know mockingbirds. You might not know mockingbirds. Have you heard of the mockingbirds?
It's really good that Adeline's not in this room.
No.
Okay. I'm not supposed to say anything if you don't know about them.
I know. I super know about them. I'm allowed to lie this time.
And she says, "Oh, okay. In that case, they're spies."
Oh, should I have done a roll to convince her about the mockingbirds?
Maybe on anybody else, but Etcetera is not a super canny bear.
Okay, they're spies for what? For who?
Kind of for anybody. Kind of for the Athenian. They're mockingbirds. So they're not ravens like our Lord's actual eyes and ears, but they're kind of like the next best thing. they go around, they see if there's like problems in the world, and if there's problems, then they position people to solve the problems. And they also write things down and give them to us.
And that guy was one of them?
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine, because he knew to give me these, and she like kind of wiggles the book in front of your eyes.
What are those? What are those?
Well, she pulls out a sheaf and she, it looks like it's just additional information about some of the people here.
Okay.
So we can have a more full understanding of the events as they occur.
Okay. Let's put a pin in that for now.
Okay.
Why don't you accompany me to somewhere that's even less people in it? That has even less people in it.
Okay. And you go to a room where 4 other people are.
No, not that room.
Oh, where are you going?
Like an actual secluded room, because I want to know what's up before anyone else, because Radiant doesn't trust anyone right now. They killed his god.
Also, Zara and Ford are both gone, right? Because Zara and Ford both had things they wanted to do and probably left to go do those things.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Ford
I remember Zara's.
Ford was told to go talk to Captain.
Oh.
No, that was tomorrow night.
Oh.
Their date's not till tomorrow night, I see.
Yeah, Kevin specifically said tomorrow night at dinner. Okay. Either way, let's cut back to Adeline, presumably yelling at Lantern's light.
Not really yelling. Are we allowed to have weapons in this joint?
Yeah. Generally, when you go to like events, you're supposed to leave them in your rooms to be polite, but you have them.
Yeah. Adeline's got a literally, I don't think, ever used rapier. So she's trying to look intimidating. So she just takes it out and just holds it, and she's not gonna attack him or anything, but she just holds it, and she has that note still for sure. So she holds it up without showing him what it is. It says, "Did you put this on me?"
Yeah.
Okay. Where is she?
Oh, she's back in town.
Which the closest town?
Yeah, like Schöneberg.
And what are you doing here? You're just fucking snooping around in the library when we're just. What are you? Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was invited to a gala, and now I'm trying to research a book.
All right. I was invited to a gala. Kind of.
Yes, I bet.
Leroux was invited to a gala, and he was going to bring a different bodyguard, but then that bodyguard had the flu. And he winks.
Is he dead, got the flu?
No, he's just puking his guts out, got the flu.
Who are you?
I am Lantern's light. He like sits forward. He was like sitting on this like there's like reading chairs in this area. And he's sitting at one, and he like kind of leans forward and puts his elbows on his knees and laces his fingers together, and he says, "I'm Lantern's light, and I'm here to make sure you don't burn that girl's head out."
Adeline leans forward and says, "I know what your name is. That is not what I meant. Who are you with?"
I'm with the sky.
No. Stop that.
I am. Oh, do you not know about the sky?
I'm aware of it.
No, like the mobsters, the sky.
Okay. Do I know about that?
You might. The sky is like the main criminal syndicate of Galyria.
Okay, then she knows about that.
Yeah. He didn't just say like, "I'm from the sky." Like,
I thought he was going to be doing some poetry shit where he said something about the sky and then said something about birds. But okay, so she didn't cut him off so much. She let him say, "I'm with this guy."
I'm with this guy. Right now, I'm with Galyria. Sort of. I'm making sure that Leroux doesn't make an ass of himself. And I'm with the Mockingbirds.
Would I know? Are they
You
like...
can spout lore and see if you do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What do I have to roll for that? Thank you. I can never remember shit. And I opened up the wrong part of the... Alright.
That's 10.
Oh, fuck, I'm so good.
Possibly because Fletcher told you. Remember, in your love letter, she said she was a member of an order of spies and troubadours that watch the events of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the Mockingbirds.
Okay.
They are, they're
spies.
They're spies, yeah. They collect things, and he says, we all got our performing things. We go through, we insert ourselves into communities to learn about them. Sound familiar?
She doesn't say anything to that. She just frowns a little bit. She thinks he's teasing her, like making fun of her. So
he is a little bit.
Yeah, she doesn't appreciate it.
And he stands up and puts his hands in his pockets again, and he says, "Listen, I gave her what I needed to give her, and now I'm giving you what I need to give you, which is some friendly advice. Don't let Etcetera read any more of that book."
Oh, she's doing it, though. She's gonna do it.
But because she shouldn't know, or because we shouldn't know?
Because the word of God is not supposed to be read by mortals. You push her too far past the prologue, and her brain's going to turn to mush.
This is a race against time, Madeline.
Ugh. That seems fairly sincere. Okay, then she just turns on a heel and starts sort of storming out. And Vet stops at the door and says, "Is Fletcher coming to the gala?"
No, we could only get room for one person, and she didn't want to take out Fantastic to take her place.
She could have
She wanted to.
Well, just don't... No snooping. And then she just leaves.
He calls after you. "Tell Calico I said hi."
Of course they're friends. How fast can I get to this girl? Where are they?
That depends. Radiant, where are you taking Etcetera?
Just to the nearest empty room. He has to know what's in that book.
Okay. Okay, so where you end up is an alcove. You go down to where the party was, and it's empty now. You can see the stars and the moon in the sky. Moon looks a little bit darker than usual. Mm-hmm. We know what's up with the moon, sort of. And there's a corner where you can tell there's not any people around.
Okay.
Not for you can see on the roof, on the parapets, there's guards, but they're not paying you any heed. You're just weird nobles, as far as I know.
Mm.
And I guess you've just been running with her?
Yeah, just at least hurriedly walking. And he's if you could translate that while you walk, would be great help. It's just
I really not while I walk. That's usually I have a big sheet of paper, and I cross-reference. I have some extra books in my room.
All right, can you read it just flat?
I'm gonna do I can do my best. I promise.
Okay.
Do I gotta roll something to find them?
Yeah.
What?
Roll a defy danger.
If I kill this bear, I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, roll a defy danger. Let me look at defy danger and see which one it is.
I get to roll 3 times.
Look at you, Mabel.
I know.
3 times.
Rolling a defy danger, intelligence, or quick thinking.
Oh, good. The one that I'm less good at of the 2.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Roll Dice and Cry. I'm Zachary, your friendly neighborhood GM, and this is episode 34 of On the Shoulders of Giants. We're really getting in there. We don't have any Kickstarters or big events this week, so I'm just going to run down all the stuff that you may or may not already know about. Make sure if you get a chance to check out Emily's webcomic, The Blue Valkyrie, at bluevalkyriecomic.tumblr.com, as well as Mari's webcomic, Perrytale, at perrytale.com. Emily and Mari also have Patreons to support those endeavors and additional ones. Patreon.com/thebluevalkyrie and patreon.com/marinskas. Mari's got a second webcomic that is patrons only for the moment, but if she hits a certain threshold, I believe she's going to start putting it out for free. So if you want to be part of that, and that sounds pretty cool. The Celestial Armature Frame expansion for Dungeon World we put out a little bit ago is on Drive-Thru-RPG. We're almost up to 100 downloads, which would be a really cool number to hit. It's pay what you want, so you don't actually have to pay anything, but if you want to, it goes to keeping the lights on. Additionally, all the music that you've heard on the show is by me and Harkin. You can find all of the music on Bandcamp at rolldiceandcry.bandcamp.com. And you can find Harkin's music at harkin.bandcamp.com, but that's Harkin spelled H34RKEN, which is very cool and elite. We've got an extremely glowing review for you this week from iTunes. I was actually a little bit like, oh, my face is, I'm blushing. It's so nice. But I'm going to go into it and just remember that somebody other than me wrote this. Wholly unique and enthralling. I love actual play podcasts, and Roll Dice and Cry is the cream of the crop, outclassing the titans of the genre like Critical Role and Adventure Zone by far in terms of story and player quality. The setting is a refreshing take on fantasy, a breath of fresh air with new takes on classic fantasy elements. Where other settings feel dull or barely distinguishable from each other, this setting is beautifully new, giving a sense of excitement whenever any new detail is brought up. In addition to having a great setting, characterization and interactions with the players is on point. Characters are fun yet frustrating, perfect in their flaws. The players are willing to go against their best interest to fit characterization and do things that frustrate them personally to stay in character, and play in the best way possible. The voice quality is great. DM Obfuscating God, that's me. His voice is absurdly handsome and charming, which combined with his excellent writing, particularly intro segments, makes for an amazing narrative experience. Also, I can definitely appreciate the very diverse cast of characters and players. If you only have time to keep up with one story-driven podcast, let it be this one. I think we have to put that on something. That's a great tagline. And a extremely generous review of what we do here. That was from Ajane Fan Club on September 25th. Oh, man. You know, when I started doing this, I didn't think that I'd have to read such nice things about me, and it's kind of, it's wild. So thank you all very much. The rest of the episode's coming up. We got more in the can and more coming. It's going to be awesome and fun and all sorts of good revelations and just great stuff. So hold on for that, and until next time, remember, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about how many heads the dog has.
$10. I'm so fucking good at stuff.
Hell yeah.
Adeline's a high roller today.
I am one point away from leveling up, so I'd actually really like to fail if I could.
Yeah. No worry, we'll have
this is too important.
So Adeline, you were like, oh, I told Radiant to go to the room, and so you go to the room, and he's not there, and like you open.
That was
Hey.
just.
I told Radiant to go to the room.
I told Radiant to go to the room.
Oh, thank
I
you.
did not do Ringo Starr. Thank you. We can move past it. We don't have to dwell on every time I do a bad accent.
It was just very.
We do.
All right,
It's like the precedent set by the fucking masks game we had 2 weeks ago.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Anyway, you go to the room. You open the door. Nemo is reading a book in the corner on his bed and looks up.
I just slam the door, and I just leave.
And then you go, shit, Radiant's not here in your head. And then you think about all the places Radiant would go, and you think he would go, and then you know where he would go.
Hell yeah.
Because you've been hanging out with Radiant for a while. So, Radiant, you're sitting like in this like secluded corner with Etcetera, Et Cetera. She like pulls up the hem of her robes and sits cross-legged on the ground and opens the book. Okay. And then she starts to read. And she gets like maybe a handful of words in, when Adeline like rounds the corner.
Okay, wait. Stop.
The words she says. Oh, you're saying hold on to him, not to me.
Yeah. No, but
wait, what did she say?
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, right," because you can understand that language. It hurts your head. It hurts your head when she says them. And there's like a very, very soft rumbling. But she says, once upon a time, as far north as north can go, in the shade of the moon, there lived the greatest people that this world will ever know. And then Adeline is there.
Yeah, and Adeline like takes the book from her and says, "Okay, stop."
What?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Adeline, what are you doing?
Okay. So that cat, if she keeps reading, it's going to scramble her brain. And maybe yours. I didn't ask if hearing it would be the same effect. Did you feel weird to read it? She looks back at. I can never remember her name.
Etcetera?
Etcetera, that's right.
Her name is Etcetera, Et Cetera.
Yes. I knew it started with E, so she looks back at Etcetera and asks if, did it feel weird to read it?
I'll say that it didn't feel good. And then you know, like a little dribble of blood comes out of one of her nostrils.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Okay.
That could be because of anything. Why would you trust that weird cat?
It's true. We are very high up this elevation. Cold.
How did it feel to listen to, Radiant?
Fine.
Well, he's a very strong paladin. It's okay. I mean, even if it hurts, I can read it.
No, it won't just hurt. It's gonna kill you.
You don't know that?
I mean, the blood is. It's not great. It's not a great sign. And my pros and cons list that I'm developing. She snaps the book shut and like sits down like with them and just holds the book in her lap.
Okay.
But
I haven't.
Oh no, you go.
I was just gonna say that I have an idea about who can read the book and not get hurt.
Oh?
Yes, my patron, the Obsidian author, Mr. Blackstone.
Wait, is that this is not in character? That's the god, right? Like,
that's the god of
yeah,
knowledge.
that's the
Okay.
book god.
Your patron
he can read
is
anything.
he's like a real like you can go to him.
Well, it's tough. I've only ever seen him in the flesh a handful of times in my entire, life.
A whole handful?
That. That's more than the average god sighting.
He's burning with jealousy.
Yeah, he's very occupied with his work. He has to read all of it, everything. He has to read the whole, the entire world's source of knowledge.
Well, now he has to read this immediately.
I can put in a word with the librarians of the Athenaeum. He's supposed to have a room there, the reading room. He can. If there's anybody in the entire world who can read that book, it's him.
Okay. Well, that sounds. The cat said, so this is the word of God, so I don't see why God couldn't. It is really wild that you can just submit a request for God to read a book also, but okay.
I think this is a special case.
Yeah, it's more like that he is just like a dude that you can go see. Okay. We'll hold on to this for, yeah? Yes.
Yes, I would, I mean, you never know. If you leave with me, I might try to read it again, and that would be bad, I think. Probably.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for putting you in danger.
No, it's okay. It's the pursuit of knowledge is the most important thing in the world.
Okay, well, I don't want you to... Yeah, okay.
Agreed.
Is there... Real quick... Is there anything... What's the sleight of hand checks in Dungeon World?
That would probably be a defy danger, dexterity. What are you trying to do?
I want to take the translation notes.
Oh, her translation notes?
Yeah.
I don't know that she has them on her.
Ah, shit.
Because she mostly wrote, did it in her room and then came down.
I'm gonna steal.
Oh, no.
Radiant wants to steal.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Is there is that our cue to cut to another person?
Yes,
I think so.
All right. So, back in the room, Zara and Ford are there. Zara, you are trying to leave right now?
Yes. I'm gonna go talk to Waylon.
Okay. Zara, I guess you can just, you tap a servant on the shoulder. And there's the NPCs, the named NPCs here. There's also a large service staff.
Mm-hmm.
Within the whole shebang. And so even in most places that are open, you can usually find a couple people, even if it's seems empty on the map. And they say, yes, next, Ifaldi's lab is to the north side of the castle. Generally they don't wish to be bothered during their work, but you're certain that they want to see you?
Well, yes, I think that we have a lot to talk about and that we could, we're gonna get along just great.
Okay. Sure, certainly. I will bring you to them and we can call upon them. And so they bring you down this long hallway, and down a flight of stairs to the northernmost part of the castle. You go past kitchens and servant quarters, and then there's a large wooden door with iron bands across it that says laboratory.
Ooh. Okay, yes.
The person knocks on it and they say, Mixavaldi, you have a caller. And Waylon, did Waylon have a slow voice? A low, slow voice?
Yes, they talked low and slow. Kind of like Ents from Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah,
kind of like that. And you hear kind of in the distance, All right. I'll be there shortly. Thank you. And they kind of, the lady, the maid nods and kind of goes back to her work.
Wayland is like half giant, right?
Wayland is 9 feet tall.
Right, but like, I know their race is not, like half giant, but like, if relating it to like D&D races, they are a half giant.
They are a furbolg, if you were putting in D&D terms.
Oh, I like that even better.
My favorite boys.
They're big and fun, and thank you, Matt Mercer, for putting them in the public eye in this, the year of our Lord 2018.
I was gonna say, furbolgs are like hot right now.
So you hear like crashing, and you hear like rustling, and then you hear like big the feet coming up to the door, and then it opens, and Wayland is there, in not sleep clothes. They're in like work clothes, and then they say, "Oh, hello, Miss Fontaine. How can I help you?"
Well, hello, Mixivaldie, or would you prefer Wayland?
Wayland is absolutely fine, and they kind of step into the door and kind of block as much of it of the open doorway as they can.
Well, I was quite fascinated by your demonstration today of that mechanical prosthetic arm for Miss Von Argent, and I was really excited, and I thought we could maybe have a conversation about that.
Absolutely. Actually, I've got this thing, and they like bring their hand up, and there's like a crumpled piece of paper in it. I was just finishing up a couple of things for the demonstration tomorrow, but have you heard of these metamorphosis types?
Yes, I had a conversation with Mr. Thoreau earlier today.
You actually talked to Mr. Emerson.
I had a conversation with Mr. Emerson earlier today. And you can cut out the other one.
Yeah. That's perfect. Good, perfectly read. Good job. And Ivaldi like kind of nods, and their eyebrows, their like brow kind of furrows, and say, "Yes, it seems I've been invited to a demonstration. We can talk on the way. It's just a rather strange set of directions. I know where it is. They didn't say where it was. They just wrote down how to walk there."
Huh. Well, I suppose they are quite an eclectic group.
Very clandestine, I would say.
Well, absolutely. I would love to accompany you.
Fantastic. And while we walk, I would be happy to answer any of your questions about theory or regarding the mechanical aspects of my work.
Well, I noticed that it seemed to have been made of a very strange substance. I was wondering what it was made of.
And they tap the side of their nose and they say, "That's a trade secret for now. That's part of the demonstrations, the reveals of this weekend. It's very impressive."
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
Gonna try to cozy up to this person and get some deets?
Yes, and I know exactly how I'm going to go about that, which is, I take my locket, and I turn the dial on the clock to 3, and suddenly, like a couple compartments burst open, and out my hand shoot these like metal sheets of Fontanium that like ratchet into place along my hand going up, and like sort of wrap around my arm until it fits a form-fitting gold Fontanium glove. And this is the cryogenic emitter glove Mark II.
Oh god, you sure are Tony Stark, aren't you?
I am. And I say, but tell me one thing right before I do that. And I say, does this material look familiar at all?
And then like it goes like and goes on your arm. And they kind of like start, and they like Like one big foot stomps on the ground and the other as they like jump from foot to foot. And they go, "Oh my golly gee. That was impressive."
Oh, well, thank you. You know, it's interesting that we saw the demonstration we did. I've long been theorizing that it would be possible to create a sort of mechanical replacement for a lost limb. After all you'd really need to do, not that it's an easy task, but all you'd really need to do is get the mechanics to hook up to the existing nerve endings on the arm, and then it could react to the muscle, the energy signal sent to the muscles. Is that how you did it?
Yes, basically. There is the material. And they kind of like get down on their knees and like crouch down as far as they can to like look as close to this thing at your gauntlet as possible. Mm-hmm. And they say, "Well, that's funny. Where did you get bright steel?"
Bet it's spontaneum.
Well, I've been calling it something a little bit different, and I adjust my goggles, look all smug, and I say, I've been calling it Fontanium. After all, we discovered this material. How long ago was it? Probably like 3 months, right?
We're like in June now. This is a midsummer party, and that was in January, so 6 months ago.
And have I heard of Bright Steel before?
No.
Good. So I would say, well, about 6 months ago, and I am trying to swag on them and make it so I discovered it first.
Oh my! You know, it's funny.
It's like the Simpsons version of Stephen Hawking.
In the chat, Mari said, Can you imagine if Wayland started calling the metal Evaldium? Which is very good.
It's also a good name. I think it's as good as Fontanium, not better. If anyone says it's better, I will blast you with my ice beam.
They kind of look at it and they say, "Well, that's funny. We had a very small sample to start with, but we've mostly been synthesizing it in the lab."
You synthesizing it? You're able to create more?
Oh yes, just take a steel alloy and use a little bit of behemoth blood in the mixture in the smelting process. Basically the same thing.
Behemoth blood. So that's why it can. So that's why the metal is so versatile, because it essentially allows itself to mutate into different materials based on what it needs.
Change distilled.
That's amazing.
That's the thing.
It's so obvious. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Well, not to toot our own horns, and they kind of push their own glasses up their nose. They got these very, like, small, circular golden glasses. But, you know that argent metallurgists are the best in the world.
I have heard that.
Mr. Anthony was very helpful in figuring out the formula.
Mr. Anthony?
Yeah. It's so sad. He's a composer, an orchestrator, a man of music, but he's really ignoring his greatest talents in metalworking.
Shut up, Mom. I want to be a DJ.
I suppose the heart wants what it wants.
Well, I suppose so, although with such a talent, I can't imagine anyone choosing anything but the sciences.
Yes, I am of the like mind, but you know how arts folks are.
Tell me about it.
And y'all go downstairs, and I'm going to cut to the room now, the bedroom, where Ford, you are sitting on a bed. There's Nemo in the corner, reading a book. Daria's in the other corner, next to the bed. She's got like a bunch of leather, like cords that she's weaving, that she's like braiding together. And you're just kind of sitting next to the door, doing something. What are you doing?
I think For's just, like, sitting there. I don't think he's doing anything. I'm thinking. I think he looks at Daria making, I don't know, a friendship bracelet, macrame. Then he looks at Nemo, and I'm sure
reading a book.
Yeah, reading a book.
Nemo like looks up at you and then looks back at his book.
Ford opens his mouth like he's gonna say something, and then closes it. Because he's pretty sure he's not gonna get anywhere with, like, Nemo or Daria. They seem invested in their things. So, I think he just kind of, does, like, an awkward hand wave and, wanders out of the room.
Okay, it's actually kind of funny. You like stand up to walk to the room, and then there's a knock at the door.
Oh, cool. I'll get that. And I open the door.
And standing in front of you is Brand the Enduring.
Oh God. Hey.
He looks at you and he says, "Maphorn,
Brand.
we need to talk."
Please, Mr.
Okay.
The Enduring.
I turn around and I look at Nemo and I'm like, if I'm not back in an hour, something's gone horribly wrong.
And Brand sticks his head in and says, "He'll be back in an hour."
I take my my punching glove with me.
Your punching glove?
Yeah, the gauntlet, whatever it's called.
Oh,
Punching glove.
the magic one?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
that's just
punching
the
glove.
steady. That's just the steady hand.
Yeah.
No, it's called the punching glove.
It's been renamed.
Retcon.
And Brand, so it's the middle of the night. Brand is still wearing full plate armor.
Nice.
Okay.
He is not. He doesn't have a weapon on him though.
Cool.
And
I'm in
he
a
says,
fantasy tank top.
Good. And he says, "Follow me."
Okay. I follow him.
He walks you up to the guardhouse where a couple of guards
Jesus.
are playing cards. And he clicks his tongue and jerks his head, and they both like jump to their feet and like leave. And he says, he closes the door behind them, and there's, you look out the window, there's the moon, there's the stars, there's this sweeping alpine mountains. And then there's, you can see the lights of Schöneberg out in the distance. And he looks at you and he says, "So I hear you've got a temper problem."
I guess some people would say that.
Yeah, some people. Like a good man who got his nose broken. Or a kid who got a glass smashed over his head. And he like walks towards you.
In my defense, the kid deserved it.
Fuck that, the kid deserved it. He was talking bullshit. Sure. But he was a kid. He's what, 24?
That's adult?
Yeah,
That's
he's
an adult, but it's a kid compared to them. And this was
true.
years ago. This happened like more than a year ago. Like probably a few years ago. And he said, "You listen to me, Maphorn, and you listen good. You've hurt 2 of my friends already."
God.
Now my lady has seen fit to extend the mercy of a pardon unto you. But don't mistake that for forgiveness. And sure as hell don't mistake that for absolution.
Yeah, I won't.
You see, Maphorn, you're a strong guy. Right?
Compared to some.
You ply trade with your strength.
Yeah.
I'm a strong guy, too. What I don't like is another strong person who thinks that strength is for whatever they feel like.
Bold of you to have this conversation with Ford and not Radiant.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know about Radiant.
Radiant didn't punch Skrillex.
Oh, I know.
Radiant didn't punch Skrillex.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yet. I think Ford kind of tilts his head and takes a real good look at Brant and goes, listen, that was all that was a while ago. Now, I'm not fond of Tony, but you know, I'm not gonna do anything to him. And, you know, I wouldn't ever hurt Kevin again. So.
No.
Well, yeah, sure. That's easy to say after the fact.
It's been a couple years. It's been, I think, more than a couple of years. People change.
Have you changed?
Well, I guess you'll see, won't you?
No, I'm seeing right now. And he kind of gets in your face and he says, "When's the last time that you threw hands at someone just because they looked at you funny? Huh? Just because they said something you didn't like? When's the last time?"
I'm thinking. When was the... Help me out here, because Ford would remember, but I don't.
Like a week ago when that Galyrian called you a traitor.
Ah. Ford thinks about it.
Just deflect. Talk about Radiant. You should see my friend. He's even worse.
Great idea. He goes, listen, I don't think I'm the Titan you should be worried about.
Oh my god, actually throw him on the bus. Yes.
You're the Titan I'm talking to.
That's fair. You got anything else to say, or can I don't know, go? Yeah, no, listen, it's real cool that you're standing up for your friends. Like, I'm all for that. I'd probably do the same thing. But, you know, I'm a guest. I know not to, overstep, I guess. I might tell Tony to fuck himself again on that. I might do that.
You might do that.
I'm not going to do that, I guess.
Fucking pathetic. And he scoffs at you.
Yeah, great. Everyone hates me. He doesn't say
Come
that.
back, you know what? Brant can come back with a warrant. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, fuck this guy. He doesn't know your life.
You don't know me. You can come back with a warrant.
Yeah.
He doesn't know your story.
He knows the stories he's heard.
Yeah, Ford sighs and runs a hand through his hair. Goes, yeah, okay. And, starts walking out the room. I don't know if Brant lets him, but Ford's going.
I think he puts a hand on your chest.
Ooh.
I look down. I look up.
I want to make sure that you understand, Map 1. This isn't an idle threat. If you lay a finger on anybody in this building, I will crush you.